being a Nets fan is exhausting. Just recently, about 15 to 20 minutes ago, Kyrie was suspended by the Nets for a minimum of 5 games. And that's only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what is going on with this Nets organization right now. Look, this video, I am going to try and avoid speaking about all the off-court drama as much as possible. And we're going to talk about something a little bit more basketball related. Steve Nash was sacked, or fired, or whatever you want to say, a few days ago. He doesn't have a job. And currently the man in question that looks like he may get the assignment is Ime Udoka. He's got a tall task. And look, I'm going to be arguing the fact that this will lead to success. And success, well, first and foremost, why are you not condemning the actions of Udoka? Well, I just said I'm not talking about it from an off-court standpoint. I'm talking about it from an on-court standpoint. And from an on-court standpoint, there is a very simple reason we're going to get better. It's because, simply put, Udoka is a better coach. And there's a lot of work to do. It's a tall mountain to climb for him, but I do believe he is probably the best option you're going to get with regards to, you know, the various scope of coaches that you can have a look at. Apart from Quinn Snyder, I reckon Udoka's the number one. Anyway, let's have a look at why we will lead to success. And first we need to define what success is. Success, in my eyes, is regaining a culture of sorts, a recognizable culture. Something we do not possess. Success, as in improvement and cohesiveness, a healthy environment. That's success to me. Accountability, that's success. An on-court product, a very good product, or a product that is sustainable and recognizable. And simply put, I just want to see passion, because it feels like there's not enough of that. And I do think Udoka is going to bring all of those things. Let's talk about where it went wrong for Steve Nash. Steve Nash is a nice guy. And I'm not going to slate him for his character and whatnot. But that is the primary reason why he was shit as a coach. He comes in and was destined to fail. He was put in an environment that did not suit the experience that he possessed, which was absolutely nothing from a coaching standpoint. Look, Steve Nash was brought in to handle personalities, and as we've seen, there is a lot of those on this team. And there has been over the years that he has been in charge. But the problem is, as much as it gives the players reign or more power in terms of being able to basically be in charge of their destiny, it also does something very, very much worse. And that is the fact that players cannot be kept in line. And if you have a coach that caters to that, then once players go off the rails, you're not going to have someone that can bring them back on track. And that's what we've seen over the years. There has not been a player or a coach that can bring these egos in line. And that leads me to my next point. Accountability has never existed. You've seen Steve Nash has never really been the kind of guy to tell his players that they've done a terrible job. The most recent example was only about a week ago or less, when the Nets lost embarrassingly to the Pacers. He called that one a disaster. And even then he didn't really, gaslight any players, and obviously you shouldn't be doing that as a coach, but I would love to see what the dynamic was like behind closed doors. He had lost the players, evidently, and I don't think even if he brought someone up and said, so-and-so, you've been shit, I don't think that would have had any difference. But over the course of his tenure, he has not been that kind of guy to kick them into line. On the other hand, Ime Udoka, supposedly, after game 1 of the finals, where the Celtics lost, he said to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, you know, you've been shit. I'm holding you accountable for it. And obviously, they didn't go on to win, but you know, there would have been fight every step of the way. And these players need to know what they're doing wrong so they don't do it again. And it feels like Steve Nash just was able to let the disaster run its course. And that is why we are here in this current position right now. Look, let's have a look at Ime Udoka. And Ime Udoka is one of the best coaches available for a number of reasons. And this is irrespective of his off-field drama. The fact that he brought the team to the finals is obviously the most outstanding thing about what he's done. But there are a number of things about it as well. The fact that I would argue, if we compare this roster now to the Celtics roster early last season, you could probably say there's a little bit of similarity. There's some players that are underperforming or not really perceived to be standout players. But when they made the finals, you know, you saw these players really come out of their shell. You know, Pritchard, Derek White, Grant Williams, all these role players actually looked much better under Udoka. And he really underlined some much better play when he was in charge. And I feel like we're in that exact same position. We need someone to enhance the abilities of these players. You know, Royce O'Neal, Ben Simmons, that's another guy. You know, your role players. Cam Thomas, who hasn't gotten any minutes. All of these players need time and need a chance. And it really felt like when Steve Nash was in charge, he would reward players that, you know, weren't playing well and didn't reward players that were playing well. And it was just this really flipped universe that didn't make any form of sense. And, you know, I didn't really know what to say at the time, and I still don't know what to say now. So that's another problem. But I do think Ime Udoka will bring the identity back. If there's one thing that his philosophy is built on, it's the fact that he knows defense. And the Celtics were good at defense last year. You know, you can talk about personnel all you want, but, you know, the players have got to buy into the philosophy. They can be good at defense, but they, you know, don't necessarily execute. And that sort of can be said for the Nets right now. We've got players that in the past are proven to defensively be capable. And right now it is not existing. Can Ime Udoka bring that back? I do think so. Because he has proven it. Also, I think just the simple fact that he has a wealth of experience in comparison to Nash should not be ignored. Do I think he's going to rescue this team? No. There are so many off-court issues that are impacting the team on-court that, you know, it'd be very ignorant for me to say that Ime Udoka is going to fix all of these problems with the snap of his fingers. But what I do think is it is a step in the right direction. If Ime Udoka does get hired, then I do think it's going to solve quite a few problems in the sense that it covers a number of bases. It covers the accountability problem because he's not afraid to do that. He's not afraid to make subs. He's not afraid to run with the hot hand, which for seemingly forever in the time I've been a Nets supporter, that has never been a philosophy, to run with the hot hand, which is very odd to say as a basketball fan. I do think that he will give the players the kick up the arse they have needed for so long. For any Nets player. The last few seasons, it has been all entirely on the players and their direction. You know, they've been given trust, and they've been given trust because of their experience and their NBA resumes. I don't want to see that. A coach should be leading from the front. It's very, very probable the reason we've sucked and have been directionless at times, in fact, directionless right now, is because there hasn't been a leader at the front of the pack. And as much as you can give these players that have egos, free reign and please them, that's not what is going to win you a championship. Voice crack excluded. But you cannot win a championship if you are just going to let players do what they want. It requires cohesiveness from a number of facets of the organization, and the coach is one of them. There's a reason the players are the players and the coach is the coach. The coach has qualification. The coach has ability to run sets. And it just... when Sean Marks made the first hire, I was skeptical of Steve Nash. And, I've been proven correct in that prediction. So, look, I don't know what's going to happen for the rest of the season. I hope Udoka is hired because, look, I'm done with drama. I just want basketball, and it's not going to arrive whilst Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant is here. So we might as well just go all in on the fact that we need a cohesive system on the court. The off-court issues are going to happen. That is much to be expected. But right now, we just need a little bit of stability, and I do think that getting a suitable coach that is proven is a step in the right direction. And if we want success, then, I think Udoka is a great hire. Obviously, referring to success in the way in which I explained it earlier in this video. That's going to be it. Look, share your comments in the comments. This is a safe space. This is a therapy session more than anything. So, if you're a Nets fan, let me know what you think. If you're an outsider NBA fan, let me know what you think. But that's all. I'm exhausted of this organization, and it is just a shambles at the moment. So, let's hope there's a light at the end of the tunnel somewhere, but for the moment, we are a very difficult team to follow.